Okay, hi and hello everyone. Anthony Fantano here, weekly track roundup, my thoughts, my feelings, my opinions on a bunch of songs that have dropped over the past week or so. That is the point of this video that I am doing, even though I am still a little under the weather. I feel like I've caught another cold on top of the last cold, and it's just like doubling up. Like, what the hell? Turntable Lab link down below supports the channel, and yeah, spoil yourself with some records, with some anything over there, and yeah, it'll do the channel good. Thank you. Also, our Patreon page gets some extra bonus monthly content while supporting us in the process too. And the worst tracks of the week, we have a couple. They are as follows. Without any further ado, bam! Nothing there. Blank. Totally blank. Nothing there whatsoever. Empty. Emptiness. A void of darkness. Well, actually, like more yellow, but like still. Resetting forward, bing, bang, boom. There we go. Actually, this new collab track from Yeat and EsDeeKid made it on our own. Given how hot both of these guys are currently and how I think unique their respective sounds are in the current rap landscape, this track has no business being as generic and as bland and as unmemorable as it is. It just kind of feels like they hopped on some mainstream trap beat from over 10 years ago and did absolutely nothing special with it whatsoever. What was the point of this? Complete waste of everyone's time. All right, moving on. Gnarls Barkley also wasting our time with a new single from what I suppose is going to be their final album. Yes, the first record they have dropped in like over a decade, almost 2 decades. It's been 20 years since they hit us with their debut album, and they're going to be finalizing things with a record nobody was expecting anyway, but they hit us with this Pictures track with some very bland production, very underwhelming vocal performance from CeeLo, some awkward rhyming and phrasing as well. It's no crazy, I'll say that, but I suppose it's not trying to be. It's very sentimental, very somber ballad, but given CeeLo's vocal abilities and range showcased over the years, you would think that something in this lane would go over a little bit better. It's an odd pick for a lead single, but I don't have anything else to say about it. I'll move on. All right, meh, the tracks I was on the fence with, but they're still worth shouting out and pointing out. They are as follows. We have a new one over here from Kneecap, Smugglers, and Scholars. Not nearly as hard-hitting as their last single, in my opinion, but, still passable, still fine. Just the hook was a little weak, in my opinion, but still very much looking forward to their new album, Fenian. We also have DJ Paul teaming up with none other than Freddie Gibbs, kind of a standard Paul production and chorus, in my opinion, though the Freddie Gibbs feature on the back end is really good and probably one of the best Freddie Gibbs features we are going to hear in 2026. We also have American Football hitting us with American Football 4 very soon. And while this Bad Moons track is surprising in a lot of ways with its very linear, progressive structure, almost a post-rock crescendo that's a little Mogwai influenced, some of the lyrics were a bit of a tough listen, in my opinion, but, if you're not coming to American Football for the lyrics, then I think you're going to be dazzled by all of the, very spacey guitar layers on this one. We also have Such Great Heights, covered by CHVRCHES, pretty straightforwardly for this Tell Me Lies soundtrack. They just pretty much followed the blueprint. It's not too bad. Not expecting too much of this or anything. Don't think anything of the group, depending on how you feel how this cover came out. It's a pretty standard version of the original song. Just cool that it happened. They probably caught a nice check off of doing this cover for this soundtrack, so why not? Support the group. Such Great Heights. Let's go. Also, Blue and Exile giving us an okay new track from the both of them. Soul Unusual. Could have used a bit of a stronger chorus, though Blue is still flowing like no other, in my opinion, on this one. We've also got Angèle teaming up with Justice for this little electro pop track, What You Want. It's a cool little, compromise between the both of them, though I do wish the production went a little bit harder and embraced its dance roots a bit more. I will say that. Best tracks of the week, they are as follows, and we got a bunch of those. Here we go. We're making good time. We have none other than Underscore's new record on the way. Tell Me You Want It is our taste of the album, the latest single, and it's a nice electro pop jammer. Underscore's continuing to sound good in this sort of like electronic and pop transition into a somewhat newer, more accessible, slightly less rock-oriented sound in this new album cycle and new era, which I am definitely enjoying. We also have Terror, Metalcore Legends Terror, Still Suffer is the project that they have coming on the way, the single, obviously of the same title. And, for a band that is as old as these guys are, they do not sound tired and they do not sound boring as hell. They do not sound like they are phoning it in. The gang vocals are nice. The guitars are gnarly. The breakdown is peak. It's just sounding like some good classic metalcore shit from Terror. So shout out to them. Still kicking ass after all these years. Squarepusher, Camera Concert, new record on the way. Electronic music and bass legend Tom Jenkinson, still killing it with this very sort of moody jazz fusion, of course, inspired piece over here, which I'm enjoying quite a bit. K2 Central. I do wish it came to a higher kind of peak or crescendo, but I am looking forward to sort of seeing where this track fits amongst many others in this forthcoming album. We also have one from, of course, The Scratch, Pull Like a Dog, their forthcoming project. Enjoying this latest track from it, which actually does feature some proper drums on it. It sounds not just like, the cajon and everything, but still, kind of that metal folk fusion, but I would say they're leaning in a little bit more of a groove metal and new metal energy on this track that has almost some, maybe even Power Man 5000 and White Zombie vibes. Gladrags is the name of the track, and it's got some great riffs for sure. These guys are definitely one of the more unique acts I've heard kind of coming up in metal at the moment, so make sure to check them out. We also have RAYE, This Music May Contain Hope, forthcoming album on the way, and this track over here is a very powerful, heart-wrenching soul ballad with just an incredible vocal performance. Depending on how much you really love your singers to flex in their instrumentals, this may or may not do it for you, but it is an incredible vocal performance on this Nightingale Lane track. That is for sure, though I do think it could have done a little, maybe without, kind of the spoken word explanation of what the point of the song is at the very start. We could figure it out. We also have a Fortet remixing Illegal from PinkPantheress, of course. Pink is not done sort of like cycling through this album and rehashing its best moments, and honestly, I'm here for it. She's like really giving us an extension of this album cycle through the deluxe, through all the additional remixes and so on and so forth. And this Fortet remix for Illegal is absolutely killer. I'm loving it. Fortet did his thing on this one. He absolutely did his thing with some of the minimal grooves and electronics, and really letting the refrain shine. We've also got Mike Hadrius, Perfume Genius, who is hitting us with like a little bit of a deluxe edition, extra stripped back piano version, Undercurrent, Clean Heart. In this recording over here, he's really bringing us back to some put your back into it vibes, but obviously, using material from the latest record that instrumentally went in a much different direction than the earliest or earlier Perfume Genius works. So it's just kind of cool to hear, the music kind of placed in a slightly different light that is maybe more familiar for longtime fans, which I'm personally very much enjoying for sure. We've also got Ego, this track from Nolan the Ninja, who I'm just hearing about through this song, I believe. Maybe I've caught a feature here and there and I'm not recalling. But Nolan the Ninja, an open mic eagle on this great boom bap instrumental with lots of personality-packed verses. Loving this track quite a bit. These guys definitely have a great chemistry together, which I would love to hear more on other songs for sure. We've also got the Hyper Youth After Party. There are numerous tracks added to that. Joey Valence and Brae basically giving us the deluxe tracks to the Hyper Youth album, and a lot of them are sounding like bangers. Push the Pipe has got to be my favorite among all of them, but you know, really killer additional cuts to the album that have a lot of energy. They're a lot of fun. I'm loving it. Also digging on Dylan Brady giving us this new single, Needle Guy. Shocked to learn that this has nothing to do with me. And it's giving us almost like a, you know, a dubsteppy early 2010s EDM type festival energy, which I'm enjoying quite a bit. And I'm loving the needle guy, needle guy, needle guy, needle guy, you know, sort of like vocal cycles. It's got a great rhythm to it. Cool, quirky energy. Exactly sort of what you expect from Dylan Brady. Maybe not like stylistically or the genre lane this track inhabits, but kind of the left field zany energy that whatever he touches tends to bring to the table. If you don't overthink it and just have fun, you're going to like it. Also liking, miraculously, this new Courtney Barnett track. I'm not normally a big Courtney Barnett guy, but there is like a brightness and an upbeat kind of, I'll say spunky energy to this Sugar Plum single that I am really appreciating for sure. There are numerous tasters out from this Creature of Habit album so far that is on the way. And I don't know, Courtney Barnett comeback in 2026. Fingers crossed. Let's see. And last, I want to shout out Galen Tipton and Giant Claw. Gungan Motion is the name of this track that is off of a, I guess, a new project they're, doing that is out at the moment. Scan Bandcamp for it. Death's Dynamic Shroud. Bandcamp is chock full of, cool, exclusive music for fans of the collective. But still, Giant Claw, Galen Tipton, Gungan Motion, hitting us with this like 80s flavored banger with, a lot of gated drums, almost like a freestyle or a New Jack Swing kind of energy to some of the grooves. It's kind of, upbeat and bright and very groovy. Really liking the nostalgia, but with kind of a, modern punch to it on the production end. And that is going to be it for the weekly tracks, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you got some good recommendations out of this video, and I will see you in the next one. Anthony Fantano Weekly Tracks forever.